Hey friends, so today we are clearing out the freezer one step at a time. We are starting off with chilies. These are our homegrown chilies. Still got the plant outside. It's the middle of winter and it is still going okay, producing us chilies. But I got a bag full here and I want out of my freezer into a product, into our shelf. So today we're gonna make some sweet chili sauce. And yeah, we'll start with this. Haven't made this before. There are so many different variations. I'm just sticking with the simple, basic sauce. Try to replicate the sweet chili sauce you would buy at the supermarket. And maybe next time we make some sweet chili sauce, we'll add in some like fish sauce and I don't even know what. I don't know. There's so many different variations online, but today we'll just stick with the basic one. All right, I forgot to hit record, but we have got 100 grams of these chilies, which I've frozen them like this. I've taken out the ribs, the seeds. You can see there's a seed right there. I wasn't overly fussy with the seeds, so there are a few seeds around. That's fine. These are spicy chilies, so hopefully this sweet chili sauce isn't too spicy, because I do want to replicate just your standard sweet chili sauce. So hopefully this even goes down. So this is good. I like that consistency. You can smell the spice. So what we'll do is we're adding, I should have gloves on. I'll put gloves on in a second. But we're gonna add everything into the pot that we're gonna be cooking this sauce in, because there's no need to put in a bowl mixer. Everything goes in at the same time and gets cooked for the same time. So it can all go into the pot. Wow, I feel like this is a lot of chili. Maybe I'm at half the chili amount. I don't know. All right, so that's 100 grams of chili in our pot there. So now just do exactly what we just done, another 4 times. All right, we got all of the chilies in our bowl. Now we want to add in, well, the chilies and the garlic, and not in our bowl, it's in our pot. Now we want to add in the sugar and the vinegar. So we want equal parts sugar and vinegar, and this recipe calls for 3 cups of each. So we're just using regular white sugar. And again, I do remember one recipe, like the recipe that has more stuff added to it, it did call for brown sugar, which brown sugar is just white sugar with molasses added. But I thought it'd be interesting. All right, so 1, 2, 3 cups. I know I might need a bigger pot. Got sugar and chili juice everywhere. All right. We'll use a bigger pot. And now we're going to be taking some white vinegar, some regular white vinegar. Again, apple cider vinegar is popular in other recipes, but for a replica, hopefully a replica of your regular plain one, we'll just use white vinegar. So same amount as sugar. If you wanted to lessen the sugar and vinegar because it is less chilies, just do 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of vinegar. As long as the sugar and vinegar ratio is the same, it should be all good. And you want it to be the same because that's going to preserve the chili to put it on a store. You don't actually need a canner for this recipe. If the jars seal correctly, so hopefully they work fine. But yeah, you need that sugar and vinegar content to preserve all this chili, and it gives it the texture as well and the consistency that we want in a sweet chili sauce. So now that's all mixed to combine, we'll pop this onto the stove. So I'll pop it on the stove for about 5 minutes on a medium heat. And we just want this sugar to get dissolved. Once the sugar is dissolved and you can't feel it, we then want to set the timer for 30 minutes and we want it to come to a simmer well, once it starts to simmer, like we might turn the heat up a little bit, we'll just see how it goes. And we want it to be a constant simmer, stirring occasionally for at least 30 minutes. Some people like to go up to 40, 45 minutes for the consistency. The longer you let it, the more the vinegar will evaporate, the thicker the sauce is going to become. But also, when it's in the fridge, it will cool and thicken up even more. So without making this before, it will be a bit hard to tell. So we'll do at least 30 minutes. I think, again, that's more a consistency thing. I don't think you have to have it for that long. Like, it would still preserve, say, if you do it for 20 or 25 minutes. But it is recommended to go for 30 minutes at least. So we'll wait till the sugar dissolves and then we'll set our timer. So this is what it's looking like now. I've just got it on a medium heat. And although we don't need to stir it constantly, we do want to stir it occasionally. So I'd say every couple of minutes, we'll give it a stir so you don't get distracted too heavily. And you could tell when the sugar dissolves because you can feel it and you can kind of hear it scraping as well. But yeah, this is already a win. I got my whole bag of chilies that I've been collecting. I only got one chili plant. And we have had a lot of fresh eating chilies. I've shared them to my parents. And yeah, so chilies have been great. I actually thought it would not have taken the whole bag though, but I'm glad that we don't have leftover chilies going into the freezer, because although I'm preserving and freezing, just quickly freezing, collecting up these chilies, it's now made a product and I want my freezer to be empty. And I'm excited because I got the end pieces of sourdough bread, and that needs to get used. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I'll be making a bread and butter pudding with a sourdough ends. Yum, that just sounds so good. But either way, we'll go through the freezer together. So in my inside freezer, I do have a freezer outside in my laundry, like a big chest freezer that we'll work on next. But yeah, I've noticed I'm collecting things and I'm not using it, and I don't want to be a food hoarder. So I want to make sure this stuff gets used, because I'm not going through the effort of gardening, de-seeding, trimming, cleaning, preserving or saving just for it to get a waste. And I love sweet chili sauce. We don't have any. I want some for my dinner tonight. We're having dumplings. So it's a win-win-win situation. Now, although we're not using a canner, I do need a big pot. And I mean, I probably don't need a pot this big, but this is a nice big pot that we have. I always put paper towel in the ones that's like not in the kitchen to use regular. We're gonna fill this up with hot water, and I want it on the stove, and I want to put it on so it's like a boil, and then I'll turn it off, put the lid on, just so this water's nice and hot. So before putting, oh, I'm just looking now, it's at the simmer. Before putting the sauce in the jars, especially because we're winter here, the jars are very cold, I would heat them up on the stove, put them in this pot so then they get sterile as well with boiled water compared to the tap water, and that will heat up the jars completely. So we can, I need to turn this down, so we can then put the hot sauce in the jars, because you do need to do it when it's all still hot, and then that's what's going to give you a seal on your jar. So this has now just come up to a simmer. I've just turned it down a little bit. I did turn it up a little bit, so now it's just back down to a medium. And I'll set a timer for 30 minutes. And we'll get this pot of water on for the boil. All right, so this is only not even half full. That should be plenty of water. That's on high to go up to a boil. I've now just turned this down just even a little bit past medium. And I think this will be good. So every 4 or 5-ish minutes, I'll come in and give this a really good stir, making sure to scrape down all the bottom and edges. Whoops. And yeah, my time is on for 30 minutes. All right, so it's been about 35 minutes. How I've tested thickness is putting some on the spatula, just here, and then I run my finger through it. So it's not completely liquid, which I think is good, because this is when it's kind of set. Because in this pot, it doesn't really seem like it's thickening, but I think this will be good. and this is off, but we've got our jars in there. So that's nice and hot. And I did taste the sauce on the spatula. It is spicy. The flavor profile is exactly what I was going for. I just wanted nothing too complicated. I just want a simple sweet chili sauce. It's sweet, you got the chili flavor, and it's a sauce. So it's exactly what I wanted, but it is so spicy. These chilies, by the way, like I said, from my garden, they are cayenne, Long or Joe Long, I forget what name, but someone's long cayenne chilies. And the tag, I bought them from my local nursery. The tag said that they are a mild cayenne, and they have not been a mild cayenne. Maybe the first month of fruit of the chilies with the seeds and all, they were mild. But the older this plant is getting, the more and more spicy. And like I said, I've de-ribbed, de-seeded majority of these chilies. Still want a few seeds in the sweet chili sauce. But it's so spicy, so spicy. I was hoping the sugar will counteract the spiciness. So we'll see when it's set, but it might be too spicy for me, but that's okay. It won't go to waste. My brother will love it. I'm sure he loves spicy. I like chili flavor. I like a little bit of spice, but I don't think I like this much spice. But anyhow, let's get our bench ready to start canning. Well, canning. We're putting them in the jars, but we're not using a canner. So I already got lids and rings out here. These rings I have used. These lids are brand new. I will put out a tea towel. Sauce here. Canning funnel. Measure cup. And I'm going to work one at a time because we want these jars to stay piping hot. So what we're going to do, put the funnel on. I prefer to get these smaller jars filled. So I'll give this a mix because the pieces of chili might float. Might sink. We can fill this right up. Just like that. One thing I forgot was more vinegar. And this is just make sure that no of that sauce or nothing at all is on there. Lid. Brand new lid and a ring. These jars are hot, but finger tight, and we'll set that off to the side. And at the moment, it's not sealed, but hopefully within 24 hours, we'll leave that undisturbed. It should seal naturally with all that heat in there. So we'll go on to the next one. Gonna make more than what I thought. So then we got sweet chili sauce. We'll come back tomorrow to make sure that they're all sealed, date them, and yeah, that's the sweet chili sauce. We'll come back tomorrow though. Alright, it's been literally probably like a week and a half. We have got our sweet chili sauce. I'll show a better close up in just a little bit. And I got the same hoodie on. I'm just editing this now and I was like, yeah, I have not finished this video. I haven't dated these yet either. So, sweet chili sauce. We've got 3 jars here. I gifted one to my brother already. Haven't even tried one myself. That night when we made these, we done dumplings. We just done soy sauce and ginger. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Just because these were so hot, and I just wanted to see if they sealed, just in case like I didn't want to use one and then one didn't seal, and then I had two in my fridge. So that's why I didn't use this that night. But they're all sealed. So like if I'm pressing down, that's just my fingers tapping, but they're all sealed. So yeah, let's date these and open one up, and we'll give it a proper taste test now. Another reason why I haven't gotten to this yet is because I can't find my Sharpies. I keep checking them out because they're not working, thinking I have so many of them, and I can't find any. So I'll probably chuck them all out. So that's why I haven't dated them. That is fine. I'll just have to remember to do that. But we'll open up this can together to listen at how good the seal is. See? Okay. So first, any can, no matter how it is, oh, you can smell the spice. But you want to check for mold, no matter how it was canned, wood above can, pressure canned. I don't even know what type of canning this method is. But you want to check for mold. We're in the clear. It was definitely sealed. It smells spicy. Okay. Let's taste this. Let's see the consistency. Yeah, this is really runny. Okay. So I didn't get the consistency right. I just think I had to cook this for longer. Probably much longer. Or instead of maybe simmering it. I've researched more. Some recipes say to boil. Like I've watched other videos now of people doing it, and it's more of a boil than a simmer, where mine I kept it as a simmer. So let's just taste it. Oh yeah, it's very sweet and very spicy. That's delicious though. That is good. That is good, but a bit not what I was after. I'm gonna do this exact thing though. Hopefully this coming season I can grow a mild chili and it actually be mild. So then I can make a lot of this, because this is my favorite sauce. I will use this for when I want to kick. See, now this is open. Hear the difference? So keep this tight. This can go into the fridge. That's another thing too. When it's in the fridge, it most likely will thicken up. Obviously the ones on the shelf, when you open up a can, it's not going to be in the fridge. But next time I use this, it may be thicker. We'll see. But otherwise, I think cook this a little longer. Use a mild chili, unless you want spice. Use a spicy chili. This is very good, sweet and spicy. But for me, I'll cook it for longer. Maybe not longer, but like I said, more of a boil than a simmer. And yeah, so this one is now going to go into the fridge. The other two can go on my pantry shelf when I store jars on my pantry shelf. I'm going to take the rings off because it's not recommended to keep them with the rings, because if these were to pop up and then the rings come out masking it shut, lots of bad things can happen. And yeah, I don't know, it's just not recommended to have them with rings, so I'm not going to. But actually these are going to stay on my bench till I get a marker so I can date them. But yeah, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. We will come back and redo sweet chili sauce if I manage to grow a mild sweet chili. But I'm glad they are out my freezer. We still got the plant outside. I do think I'm going to pull it soon, to be honest though. This cold weather is really getting to it. But for now we got a few more fresh chilies, and until that plant, once it's done, to getting new plants, I'm glad I got these sauces to enjoy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Also, if you've made it this far, I'm now an associate with Amazon. So I will leave a link for my canner. I know we didn't use the canner in this video, but if you do want to look at the Presto canner, I'll leave my Amazon affiliate link in the description below if you wanted to have a look at that, along with some of my favorite links. And yeah, so that's really fun and exciting. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.